Hey, welcome back to my channel, and today is the last day of 2023, and I'm gonna come up here and freestyle this video because I just thought, I saw a lot of things where people are doing vision boards and doing what they want to see in the new year of 2024, but I just want to come up here and talk about the lessons that I've learned myself from 2023, right? And I wrote down like titles, but I'm really gonna freestyle this one, right? So, biggest lesson I learned in 2023: trust no one. Now, that's not something that's uncommon, right? And I don't want to say I already have trust issues, but I don't trust a lot of people. I've always put faith in myself, faith in God, and was rocking that way. But I say I learned to trust no one because everybody has their own intentions of what they see you to do for them. And they will not ever really tell you, these are my intentions for you, but I'm going to try to sway you into thinking that this is something that you want. I'm going to try to sway you into thinking that I am who I say I am and who I'm showing you that I am. But in reality, I am a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? So I've learned that, there's people that you would think who have your back, who it seems like they are picking you above other people, but really they're just trying to use you for their own gain. It's sad to say that, but that's what I've experienced. I already knew not to trust nobody, and I do like to open myself up to people when I feel like I want to give people a new chance, a first chance off the first impression, or either maybe give them a chance in general because they don't know me, I don't know them, but I'm trusting that I have a good judgment of character and that this person is for me. And that may be true. Someone may be for you, but it doesn't mean that they don't have their own intentions for you too. That will be unbeknownst to you until the final end of something. So I hate to say it, but really, you really have to trust no one, and trust yourself, right? And you would like to trust people's actions and their words, but it takes time. And when I say it takes time, is you need to see if their actions line up with their words, and if their words line up with their actions. So that leads me into number two: trust yourself, right? I learned that. I always knew that, but it was really resonated with me in this year 2023, that what I have going on and what I know what's best for me, I'm going to have to do it for me, right? Um, there was a lot of push of, I see this for you, precious. You should be doing this. Give it another year. Give me some time to get things going for you. Let me make moves for you that I didn't think I needed to be moved towards, but people saw their own vision for me, and it didn't make me second guess myself, but it made me think like, well, I need to put my wants and desires on the back burner because people want things for me and see things for me that I don't see for myself. So I decided to take a leap of faith and trust myself and do what was best for me, right? And for me, that was deciding to retire from the Air Force, right? And deciding to take that leap of faith because I did not have no intentions of retiring in 2023. I think for me, if things would have worked out the way that I would have saw things working out, or that things were leaning and going into the direction I would have saw them going to, I probably would not have retired until like 2025, and by that time I probably wouldn't have even retired then, to be honest. But God had his own plans, right? God had the perfect storm happen for me to where he knew I was going to react in that way of, you're really talking to me kind of crazy right now. I don't deserve that. I don't need that. I'm going to do me. Or you really are holding me up from what I really see for myself because you want me to follow in your footsteps. I decided to do me and to choose me over everything else, finally. And I trusted my own intuition. It wasn't the hardest decision to make, but it was time to make it. So yeah, I decided to trust myself above all, and it worked out for my good. It really, really did. I have no complaints. It was a battle of emotions of losing something that I had had for decades. But really, did I have it? Because if I had it, things would have been working out the way I thought they could have worked out. But in the end, everything worked out for my good, and it always will. I always believe that, and that's how I'm going to live my life. Next, bet on yourself. I decided to bet on myself. When I made a decision to trust myself, when I'm telling you, nobody but one person was like, I'm happy for you. You're choosing you. You're doing you. You took time to make this decision for yourself. Go ahead and do it. Nobody but one person out of all the people who had my back, all the people that was in my corner, I didn't get a, you go girl. I got, what are you doing? Why are you making this mistake? Why are you not giving me a second chance to show you X, Y, and Z? I decided to bet on myself. And for me, betting on myself, I never lose. I never lose. And I feel like I never lose when I bet on myself because I know what I'm capable of. And I know that where I want to go, I'm going to get myself there because I'm such a great planner and I'm very organized that I have a plan for when things don't work out too. So I decided betting on myself was what I needed to do in 23, and it worked out. And then, to me, the most important thing that I learned in 2023, you need to give yourself time before you make big decisions. And I mean life-changing decisions. For me, retiring was a life-changing decision because I was withdrawing myself from the military lifestyle. But it wasn't hard to make, right? I took time. I did my pros and cons. I sought out advice. And I finally made a decision for me. And I didn't tell no one that I was making it until I made it, right? And at that point, I had to tell people because I had to get approval to even retire, which is ridiculous, but whatever. But what I mean by give yourself time before you make life-changing decisions is, for me, I can always bet on myself because I know how I'm going to react. I know how I am going to impact my own decisions and influence things. The thing is, you never know how someone else will influence you. And so with that being said, I had to realize that people are showing me who they think I need to be shown. People showed me their representative instead of showing me what they're really dealing with. And what I mean by that, everybody has demons, right? But some people's demons is just more demonic than some other ones, and that's serious. There's levels to everything, and there's levels to demonic powers and principalities as well. Believe that. And there's levels to how someone or what someone is battling compared to what someone else may be battling, right? So with that being said, I had to learn that I had to make sure that I had to really see someone for who they are and to see what they're really dealing with and how that's going to impact my life. And even if I thought that I could handle it, can that person handle what's impacting their life, right? And 9 times out of 10, I know that I'm a strong person, but most people that I dealt with in my life romantically are not stronger than me emotionally and mentally and spiritually, right? So I know that I attract people who need help, men who need help in some way or another. I don't mean like financially, but I mean spiritually and emotionally. And I just think a lot of men that I've attracted have been broken-hearted and broken-spirited. But they have shown me when they first get to know me that they are X, Y, and Z, and that they got it going on, that they're real men. But as time went on, I saw that you're not who you say you are. So before I made a life-altering decision, as in like to move in with somebody, to move cross-country, to leave my family for somebody, I had to see that some people are not who they say they are, and not who they pretend to be. And a lot of times people pretend to be someone else so that they can bag you, right? At the end of the day, you need to secure yourself. And I learned that too the hard way, that I got to secure myself emotionally, physically, financially, and spiritually. And I always do, but when you decide to put someone else's spirit, someone else's finances, someone else's wants, desires, emotions above yours, that's when you will take a dive, a tall dive off a cliff, right? Emotionally. And I had to do that. And I did that because I thought I was doing the right thing by showing someone that I love you. I would do anything for you. But I had to see that that person wouldn't do everything and anything for me, right? And I do believe in timing, but I also believe that if you find the right person in your life, you make it work. But that's because I'm sound enough within myself to believe that. But I've realized most men don't operate that way. They think everything needs to be perfect before you enter into something that is uncertain and unknown. So anyways, I've learned you have to give people time, and you have to give yourself time to really see someone for who they are. Sometimes you got to take a step back and be like, is this person really showing me the real person? Are they really showing me their real emotions, or are they really covering it up? And sometimes you don't know until they come out and say it. And sometimes you'll have an inkling that something is not all the way true and that they're being fugazi as in fake. But you don't get the answer until it kind of comes to a head, right? And I think if I wouldn't have gotten that answer at that time, that I would have moved forward, and it may have been a mistake. So now that I'm moving forward in my life the way that I need to be moving forward, I think I'm making the right decision. And the thing is, what I realized, I wouldn't have made this decision if I wouldn't have found out that this person was going through so many demonic things. Like, and I believe people go through a lot of spiritual attacks, including me. And sometimes when you're going through stuff, you don't want to drag someone else down. And I understand that. And sometimes the people who want to be a part of what you're going through may not need to be a part of it, because they've already worked themselves through their drama and their demonic attacks at that point. Why retrograde back, right? Sometimes I realize when it comes to dating, I have to be forced, as in like something bad has to happen in order for me to leave. And it's not usually on my behalf, but it's on that man's behalf, right? And I have to continue to believe in my God, Jesus Christ, and I have to continue to believe that the direction that he is leading me in is the direction I'm supposed to go, whether that is with a man or not. So those are the things that I learned in 2023. I have no clue what's going to happen in 2024. I literally, at this point in my life, I'm taking one day at a time, trying to be positive and hopeful, and keep it moving. So that's what I learned. Let me know what you learned, or let me know what you think. I hope you have a happy new year, and that what you have had experienced in 2023 promotes your 2024 to what it really needs to be.